All right. Well, here we are back again Wednesday night. It's Citizens United with me, John Restaino, and of course, Wade is here and he's doing his tech work and doing everything else. Mike opened for him always, and Robin is here checking out the Facebook messages. If you have any questions or comments or concerns, you can go through the customer service line, which is Robin over there, and she'll answer you. We got a little bit in the audience. He doesn't have a mic, unfortunately, but John Fidel is here, who you'll see Friday night on Goal Getters with me, and we'll be talking a lot of stuff: NHL playoffs, NFL, preview of all the schedules that have come out. How's everybody? How you guys doing? All right? Good. All right. Nice. Beautiful day outside today. Yeah, beautiful day. It's funny. We'll bring Tim on in a second. But there's sometimes when I'm getting ready for the show, and I know I got a guest, let's say. So the guest will be half the show. And then there's a second half. You got to fill with something. And, man, sometimes I don't know I'm going to fill. Like last night I think it was last night. I was telling Robin, geez, I really don't have anything. I found something. And then all of us, Niagara County never disappoints. Corruption never sleeps, and it's awake. Mm-hmm. It's really awake. But after we talk to Tim, we'll get into that. But speaking of Tim, now before we bring him on, I just want to remind everybody: Tim Heater is running against Bill Kennedy, running against Chris Fascio, and Tim's my guest today. He's a Republican candidate for the Niagara County 6th District, and it's Tim Heater.
Hey Tim, how are you?
Tim, what's
guys,
happening?
How you doing?
Hi, oh, we're doing good. Doing all right, Tim.
Hey, Tim.
All right, Tim, I got to ask you, for people that don't know you, just introduce yourself. Tell everybody who you are and what you are.
Well, my name is Tim Heater. I'm a registered Republican. I am a steel worker for the city of Niagara Falls. I'm actually a mechanic. I work in the Parks Department. I've been in New York for about 20 years now. Been working for the city for a little over 10. Raised my family here. I've got my kids. I live the life here. I came here 20 years ago for a job opportunity and liked it. After I left that job, I went ahead and applied for a job for the city after I was working for a couple other mechanic shops, and I've been sitting back in the background, just watching things, helping things happen, trying to make things better, and now it's time to step to the forefront and start making things happen myself. I'm not happy with the way things are going, and it's time to step up and make some changes.
All right, and that's Tim Heater, guys. 6th District. He's running in a it's going to be him and Vascio in a primary. You got Bill Kennedy waiting as the Democrat. Robin is looking at the message board, too. I want to remind everybody. So questions for Tim, comments, whatever it is, she'll be checking that out. So feel free. Tim, I want to ask you a couple things, and I want to address these right off the bat, because I think they might as well be, and I don't even want to give them too much oxygen, but I'd like you just to talk about them. There's two things they tried to smear you with that I saw. The first one was your motive for running. There was an idea out there that you're only, and I want you just to answer because it's I know the answer. Tell everybody what your motive is for running and how it wasn't to help anyone but but the people. Go ahead, Tim.
Well, I've reached out to the Republican committee chairman, Mr. Bill Carroll. He and I had conversations back in late January, early February. I had expressed interest about running for office. I said, I'm sick of just sitting back. It's time to get up and do something. And he and I talked, and I told him at first I was talking about running for council. And what I was informed of is that if I get elected, I would have to resign my city position because as a city worker, union worker, you have to vote on union contracts. So that's a conflict of interest. So then he asked me, he says, well, what legislative district are you in? I said, honestly, I don't know. He says, well, who's your legislator? I believe Dennis Virtuoso. So he says, well, do you have a problem running against a guy that's been in there for 30 years? I said, Bill, I don't care who I'm running against. I'm sick of sitting back and not getting anything done, not seeing anything happen. I'm getting involved, and I don't care who I run against. The message that I got was to just sit back and wait. Don't announce anything until we got the resources in place, which I did. Now, this was obviously well before any other candidate had a chance to announce that they were running. I went to the Republican meeting we had over in Tonawanda where petitions were passed out. I got the petitions for all the Republican candidates because I didn't have mine. They didn't have mine ready at the time. Jennifer St. Donato I spoke with, and she said to give her a couple weeks to get the petitions ready, which I did. In the meantime, I was told to call another Republican Party member and express my interest. At that time, he tried talking me out of running, and there were a couple other candidates they had in mind, and I said, I don't care, I'm running. That's just the first person I got to beat. I don't care who I run against. You see, I'm not running because I need the benefits. I'm not running because I need the pay. I'm not running because I need the retirement. I've already got that. I'm running because I want to do something. Didn't nobody talk me into it? Matter of fact, people tried talking me out of it. And that's my motivation, is to start seeing change happen. I'm sick of the way the city is. I'm sick of the way things aren't happening. We lost senior services and youth services, which is a real thorn to me because those are two things I don't think should have ever been cut. Hopefully I can get into the county level. Maybe we can get the county to help us out with some of that. I've been going over the county budget, and I see we contribute a lot. We are one of the main draws here in this county. And when I start looking at the budget where the money's appropriated to, I'm not seeing what I consider a fair share coming back to the city. We're making the money for the county, but we're not receiving much back. And I think that needs to change. I don't know, how other people have been handling this through the past, if they've, gone in and advocated to get things for the city. That's my plan. I'm not going to stop. I don't like taking no for an answer. I got 2 eyes, 2 ears, and 1 mouth. I like to read, do my research. I listen to what's going on, and I don't speak until I've done the research, until I know what's going on. People have seen me. I'm sure you've probably seen me at the council meetings. I've been involved. I've done the community things. You don't see my face out in the front because I didn't have to be in the front. I was there doing the right thing without the recognition, without a camera having to be there, without a reporter having asked me how to spell my name. That wasn't why I did it. And that's not why I'm doing this now. I offered my son a house here in the city. I raised my son here. I have 2 boys. I raised them here. I offered my son a house to come back here after he got out of the Marine Corps. He just moved to Florida in October. Right. He doesn't want to come here to raise my grandson. I said, I raised you here. He says, but Dad, there's just nothing there for us. It's gone downhill so bad. And I'm like, you know what? It's time to get up and start doing something. So I threw my name in. And you know something? Like I said, a lot of people are probably upset because I'm running. I'm running because I want to see things change. I'm going to be there. I'm going to try my damnedest to make things change. If people get mad at me along the way, those are probably the people that are holding things up. Okay, so be it. Get mad at me. But when you see the results, you see my desire, you see my work ethic, okay, if you still don't like me after that, all right, I get it.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, that's Bill Kennedy. I mean, that's something that I had to hear about. You're friendly. You guys are friends. That's
Bill and I are friends. Yeah. I helped him when he got on the council.
Right.
He's a friend of mine. He and I had actually talked before this race, and I had talked to him. Ironically, we were sitting at a bar, and I said, I'm going to run for county legislator. He was still kicking around the idea of running for council. Oh, he wasn't sure what he was going to do. And then as soon as Dennis announced that he was going to retire, Bill says, well, hey, you know what? There's a Democrat retiring. I'm going to run on the Democratic line. I called him the day after Dennis announced he was retiring and seen Bill was running. I called him. I'm like, dude, I told you I was running. He's like, yeah, that's okay. He says, we'll see what happens in November. And I made a deal with him. I said, Bill, no matter what happens in November, whoever wins, that's who's buying the next round. We're going to sit here. We're still going to be friends. I'm not going to lose friends over politics. I don't choose my friends because of politics, and I'm not going to lose friends over politics. I have my principles and values as a man, and I'm sticking to those, and I'll either win or lose as me, and I'm not going to be ashamed about it. I'm going to go out, do the work, do what I can do, and if people believe in me, January 1st, I'll be sworn in as the next county legislator.
And you know what else? People would have to realize this is in my mind, in your favor. You'd actually be in the majority for once. You'd be in the majority, being able to fight for some of our, because you got minority, the minority group isn't really, what are they doing? You get a Democrat in there, they can't do much. It's like 19-5 or whatever it is. So I think being in the, go ahead, Tim, go ahead.
It's actually 10-5. There's 15
Is it?
county
Okay.
legislators in the county, and right now the Republicans hold 10 seats.
Right.
My feeling is, what's best for the people? Okay, you got a Democrat that's got good ideas. Shut up and listen. If you can help that good idea happen, get behind it, support it, make it happen. If you got a Republican that's got a good idea, get behind it and support it. It's not about party with me. It's about the people. The parties have been mucking this up. I mean, you've had Democratic mayors in the city of Niagara Falls. Have you seen the city taking many steps forward? It hasn't happened. We got development that's stagnant. We got people leaving in droves. There's not really anything happening. Can the Republicans change that? I don't think they can do it on their own. I can't do it on my own. I'll tell you right now, I'm one of 15 when it comes to county legislators. Everybody has to work together. The party politics, I can't believe how people are so polarized. Democrats are not my enemy. Republicans are not necessarily my friends. What's good for the people? Who are you elected to represent? Right. Not the party. You're elected to represent the people. I don't want to be a dictator. I don't plan on getting elected and shutting my door, shutting my phone off. I don't want to hear nothing. No, I want to hear from people. I want to hear criticisms. I want to hear people that praise me. I want to hear it all. That's what you're supposed to do. You listen to the people you're elected to represent. You don't shut off the people and try to be a ruler or a dictator. That hasn't worked. That's not going to work, and that's not what I am. I don't want to shut my phone off and I don't have a problem. My phone number, 716-990-3934. My address is 629 Ashland Avenue. You want to come and talk to me? You want to come see me? Send me a message on Facebook, call my phone, text my phone. I want to hear. I don't care if it's good, bad, or indifferent. I want to hear, because that's what you're supposed to do. You listen to the people you represent, and you do your best to represent those people. You don't rule over them. You don't just sit here and say, oh, no, this is the way I feel, and this is the way it's going to be. That's not what you're elected to do. You're elected to represent.
And that is my guest, Tim Heater, Republican candidate for the Niagara County 6th District. Tim, one last one that is was as dirty as it come, and actually whoever planted it backfired. It backfired on him. Simply it did. Tony Farina put a thing out. Say what you want to say about it. You've probably already answered it a million times, but just for my audience, it was about taxes and stuff. Go ahead, Tim. Answer that. That was smear number 2.
All right. Plain and simple. I live in this city. I raised my family in this city. I have kids. I have a family here. I am not a $1 million a year employee. I live the same struggles everybody else does. I don't want anybody's pity. I don't. Okay? I have a daughter that needs a double lung transplant. I'm saving money because I know they could call at any time. I've got to go for 12 weeks and be within an hour of Cleveland, Ohio, where they're going to do her lung transplant. I'm making plans to have money set back so that if they call me tomorrow and say, we need her here in 4 hours, I'm gone. I got it set up with work. I'm going to be gone for 12 weeks. My family is more important to me than anything. Is this my biological daughter? Absolutely not. It's not. It's my stepdaughter. But you know what? I look at these girls. I have 3 stepdaughters. They are my daughters. I've raised them. I care about them just like I care about my sons. And you know something? My taxes are paid. I put the receipts out. I showed everybody the receipts. I have nothing to hide. You want to call me and ask me about it? You want to see proof? I'm the kind of person that I don't want you to just believe my words. I will show you the proof. I paid those taxes, and I told Tony Farina I had the money in my account to pay those taxes. I sold my house, one of my houses, the one I offered to my son. That house was closing today. It was supposed to close today. Okay, I had the money to pay those taxes. It wasn't like I was dodging them. What is the penalty for paying late taxes? You pay the interest, you pay the fees, all that shit. How many people have paid their taxes, their water bill, any bills late? Sometimes you have to.
Right.
That's called making more choices than money. When you're not a millionaire employee, you don't have a trust fund to fall back on. You live the real life. That's me. I live the real life here. I have houses. I've got 2 other houses. My son lives in one. I don't rent properties out. I bought these for my kids to take care of my family. My family is more important to me than those taxes, and I knew they would get paid. If they didn't get paid, what were they going to do? Foreclose on my house? Sell my house? Okay, obviously it didn't get to that point. I took care of my obligation. I took care of my responsibility. I told Tony Farina I had the money to pay those. I asked Tony Farina, I said, would you like to talk about my campaign? Well, no, I just got this note that you were behind on taxes. And I said, Tony, if you want to sling some mud, call me anytime and I'll verify it. I don't hide from anybody or anything. You want to make up shit about me? We'll have words about it. You want to know the truth about me? I don't hide from it. I'm not ashamed of what I've done. I did what I did. I take responsibility for it, just like I did with the taxes. They're paid. I owe nobody nothing. My bills are taken care of. Now I'm just, as soon as I get the house money, then I know I've got that cushion for if they do call for my daughter, we're set and ready to go. But I don't want anybody's pity. Please don't pity me. This is my daughter. This is the cards we were dealt. I play the hand I was dealt. And I don't want anybody's pity. Thank you, but no thank you.
Thank you.
I'm a man. I stand on my own, and I will get things done. I always do.
Mm-hmm. Robin, if anything's going on, let me know. We're good? Okay, keep paying attention. Let me ask you something, because I never ran, and I know it's your first time. When things like that happen with a smear, with all that, do they come and does the party help you? Like, does the GOP, does anybody, or no?
You know, I got to tell you, I can't speak bad about the committee themselves. All I can say is that I really expected a lot more help from the Republican committee than I've gotten. Now, I'm not saying nobody's helped me, because I'm going to tell you right now, Vicky Komorowski, everybody say a prayer for her. Her husband just died. It's a very bad thing. But she was there the day of my fundraiser over at the Stone Room. She had an issue with her house. The fire department was at her house that night. And then 2 days later, her husband passed. Mm-hmm. Vicky Komorowski has been a wealth of help to me. John Sapensky, he's also helped me. Tracy Bax, she's helped me. Kenny Tompkins, Glenn Chalokian, Sam Archie. I'm getting help from a lot of people that I didn't expect to have to ask for help, but they've stepped up, both feet, ready to go to help me out wherever I need help. And I can't thank those people enough. I expected more help, but honestly, I kind of expected to not get much help as soon as I seen Chris announce he was running, because we all know I'm not the preferred Republican candidate.
Well,
he's been on the council for 3+ years. Hasn't done a whole lot, but the Republicans for some reason seem to like him. I want change. I want different, and I haven't seen it out of him. And that's why I don't care that he's running. Great. Congratulations. Good luck. He's the first person I've got to beat. My goal is to get in that seat and to make things happen. I don't care who I've got to go through. I'm not doing this for the money. I'm not doing it for benefits. I'm not doing it for a job. I got a job. I'm doing it because I'm sick of the inactivity, the stagnant, nothing happening. And I think I can get in there and do something. I mean, we've got 3 years of records, so you can see the guy I'm running against. You can see what he's done over the last 3 years. Are you happy with the way the city is? I'm not. I've seen here recently, we've got employees. This fella ran on a platform saying government needs to be downsized. Government needs to go on a diet. What's going on a diet? I'll tell you what's going on a diet. DPW's going on a diet. Guess what DPW is? Those are the people that provide the services to the taxpayers. All the while, the administration's gotten bigger and gotten more expensive. They just put on 2 directors that are making $90,000 plus with their benefits. Right. They put a public information officer on for $42,000 a year. I got a guy in my shop that's been there for over 25 years. He's barely making $40,000 a year, and they say this is a low-paying job. Yeah. So you just kick this guy in the balls because he's been here for all these years, and he's not even making that.
Right.
I just it's pathetic and sickening to see what's been happening. And guess who's been right there to vote right along with it?
Yeah.
The guy I'm running against.
Yeah.
So, that's all I can say.
Well, it's a good thing. It's like, I think this is going to go back to Reggie Jackson. He said it best. He said they don't boo nobodies. So kind of, if you look at it, they're smearing you because they know there's a fear. Because they wouldn't do it, just like they don't boo nobody. So that's just, on that, I got a question about economics that I want to ask you. And there's $58 million coming from the New York State, I think, COVID relief. Well, it comes from the federal government to the city of Niagara Falls. But maybe it's 59. The first thing, is it a blessing? Is it a curse? And so far, we don't know what they can spend it on, but I've read some other places where it seems like they can do what a lot of it they can do with what they want. Right now, the mayor is kind of saying, I think he knows, I think he's got an idea what he wants to do, and he doesn't want to let us know where it's going to go. But whatever. What would you think? $59 million coming.
Well, first off, let's hope this mayor does better than the last mayor does
Right.
when it comes to spending money. Where I think it should go, first thing is, look at your local news right now, what's happening. You got businesses that are trying to reopen. They cannot get employees. I took my mother. She was up here last week for the fundraiser. Got to take her out for Mother's Day. She left the day before, but I took her to Bob Evans, her favorite restaurant, for dinner. There was one waitress that was working. They cannot get people to come back to work because they've got this incentive to be unemployed. First thing we need to do is we need to change that. I understand there's people that can't find a job, but when you got jobs and people are begging for employees, you got to get these people off the unemployment and get them to work. Give them an incentive to go to work rather than an incentive to not go to work. Yeah. We need to help these small businesses get back on because anybody can tell you, small businesses are the backbone of the community. If you don't have small business, you got no chance of enticing big business. So we've got to bail out these small businesses, not necessarily about help them out. They've got to be able to get these. I got to tell you, I went down, there's a new business that just opened up. The Judas Tree. I'm not doing this just to plug them, but they just opened on 15th and Pine. I went in there and I asked them, I said, why don't you guys have a sign out here showing the name of your business? I had to look it up on Google Maps. Well, we can't put up a sign because of these restrictions we have. We're afraid if we put up a sign, we're going to be having to turn people away. We got to get rid of these draconian restrictions.
Yeah.
Let these people – when do people become responsible for their own health? Why do you have to mandate somebody to wear a mask? People feel safe, go out. If you don't feel safe, stay home. You want to get vaccinated, get vaccinated. If you don't want to get vaccinated, don't. But at the end of the day, we've got to open this place back up so that our small businesses can get started back up. We need to help those businesses. They can't get employees. They're fighting against the federal unemployment. We got to give them some kind of relief so that they can get employees in. Yeah. The other thing we got to look at, you've got a lot of people around here that are still having issues with their rent. Some people are taking advantage of the system. These landlords that aren't getting paid for their properties that they're renting out and leasing out, they're going to need some relief. They absolutely have to have relief. I hope that this money that the city's supposed to get is spent in a way where we're not hiring consultants and contractors. We need to take care of our small business. We need to get services restored to people. You got to give people a reason to come out of their house. You got to give these kids something to do. You got to keep them occupied. You got to give them positive role models to be exposed to. The schools are starting to come back around. Yeah. They're getting exposed to their teachers and their friends again. But what do you do with them after the school? We've got to get to some programs in. We got to get the boys club to get these guys some help. We have to be able to keep these kids from being left to their own devices on the street. We've got ATVs, dirt bikes, everything going crazy on the streets because the kids have nothing to do. There are lots of things to do that are still there. Kids can learn how to golf. Take them out. We have a golf course. We have an ice rink. There's still – I don't know if people know this. The ice rink operates 365 days a year. They're open. There's 2 rinks there. They have 1 rink that's always up all the time. They have open public skating that's available. They have hockey classes. Jay Hill runs his hill hockey development camps out of there. There's things to do for these kids. There's going to be bocce leagues are going to be starting. Volleyball leagues, they're going to be starting up. The baseball. I can't wait for the baseball to start. Teach these kids. Give them something positive to do so that they can get involved. They can stay off the bad influences off the streets. We got mental health issues that need to be addressed. We have so many issues. And I'm not going to sit here and play politician and say, well, it's a very complex issue. No, I'm going to address it. I will sit here and I will address it. There are many things. Our infrastructure sucks. Yeah. We got to get our streets taken care of. We got to figure out a way to get this done. Blight needs to be taken care of. The neighborhood cleanup that just happened last weekend. We need to get people to not have to do a blitz on the city once a year or once a month or whatever. We need people to have pride in their neighborhoods every day. You need to keep your properties clean. Sean Levick was telling me, a 5-foot rule. When you're walking somewhere, if you see something within 5 foot of you, pick it up. You want people to come here. You want people to, businesses to come here. We want better jobs to come here. We all got to be in this, and we all got to take care of the city together. You see somebody walking and drop some trash, go pick it up. Say, hey, you dropped something. Pick it up with them. Something.
Right.
I mean, there's so many issues that need to be addressed. And as far as the money goes, I mean, I just hope it doesn't get wasted like the $250+ million from the casino that we had before that was wasted.
One thing that I heard, though, from the mayor was, and this is something, he wants to work on infrastructure, but infrastructure in City Hall as it pertains to his computers. So that's what he said on Channel 4. Wade, do you have a question?
Yeah, Mr. Heater, you stated that there's many issues. Yeah, you definitely brought up many issues there. I would say on some of them, it's a double-edged sword. When you look at the issue with landlords not being paid and what you said is tenants taken advantage of, many people lost their job during COVID. So
Right.
if we don't have this, if we don't have something in place to protect that tenant, wow, the homeless rate increases dramatically.
You're right. It's going to be horrible.
I'm more for the, obviously the landlords need to receive money. They need to pay their bills, so on and so forth. Many places include heat, electric, so on and so forth, like I was just stating. But at that same time, that person is that landlord is in somewhat of a good position to even be a landlord. That person that they're renting out to, who just possibly lost their job because of COVID or whatever, where are they going to go? So
Right. Well, most of the landlords that I know are willing to work with those tenants. And like I said, if we can get some of that money to give relief to the landlords, that's going to give them the breathing room that they're looking for when it comes to their maintenance on their properties, to being able to cover their property taxes or being able to cover the lost rent. We don't want to see people get kicked out. That's the last thing you want to see is people get kicked out of their house. But in the same sense, like I said, the landlords are going to need some relief so that they can take care of the obligations that they have. A lot of the landlords, they may not own those properties, but they still have to pay the mortgage on them. The federal government's not helping them out any. And I understand, people lost their jobs. And trust me when I say we need to get people back to work. We need to help these families make sure that they can put food on the table, keep the lights on, keep the heat on and everything. But then, like I said, the issue that I've seen is I see a lot of the landlords that are screaming that there are some of these people that collected their unemployment, they collected their stimulus check, and just flat out refused to pay the rent. Those are the people I refer to as taking advantage of the system. There are a lot of good people that are still paying their rent the best that they can, and I know a lot of the landlords are willing to work with them. But it's those aren't the ones you hear about. The ones you hear about are the ones that, like I said, collected all their unemployment, their stimulus, and you see them, they're walking in with a brand new big screen TV. Their kids got all the games and stuff for them, and they're walking around brand new shoes, brand new cell phones. Why weren't you paying your rent? Those are going to be the people that you're going to see that are going to be saying, oh, I'm getting thrown out of my house. Well, you had opportunity. There are a lot of people that took that opportunity with the money that they received to make sure that their landlords were taken care of. And like I said, I know a lot of the landlords, they did say, we will not kick you out. We will work with you. And I think that's the way it should be. But I also think, like I said, if the city and the federal government's going to dish out this money for COVID relief, that's one of the things that needs to be considered. If these landlords are getting something to at least help cover the cost of their rentals, cover the taxes, they're not going to throw people out. Some of these tenants have been regular long-term tenants for years. Those landlords don't want to lose those tenants. But in the same sense, the landlords still have the taxes to pay. They still have got the maintenance and upkeep that has to be done. I mean, water heaters didn't stop breaking just because we had COVID. Furnaces didn't just stop working, because of COVID. So you're right. There is a double-edged sword. And the last thing anybody should want to see is somebody getting thrown out of their house. That's the last thing you ever want to see as a homeless person.
Correct. So, yeah, like you said, a double-edged sword. So I would say if this campaign works for you, you become a legislator, and this is what you are in discussion about, then relief should go to the landlords and stipulations of them not being able to evict, because there are many different scenarios out there, just as you
Well,
were just explaining.
That's for sure. I think it is. It is. And that's the problem. It's case by case.
Right.
A lot of, and I think Tim is saying that too. It's case by case. You know what I mean. Doing the blanket thing is. Oh, you think about it too, though. This whole situation, COVID, and where we're at today. Geez, I don't know. Could it be considered not only an issue? You know, obviously it killed people. COVID, we know that, but it's also kind of a government-made issue. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's kind of screwed up that way. Like they kind of, and still to this day. I mean, look at how we are compared to other states. How everything that's going on. The government kind of has to own some of this because they caused it, I think. Robin, is there something you want to say before I get to my next question?
Yeah, I just had a quick question. You mentioned that with the people still on unemployment and there being, maybe what would be looked at as incentives to stay on unemployment. I wonder, though, how many people can't get back into the industries that they've made a career out of. And I guess my question is, would you expect them to start all over from the bottom or to wait until they could get a comparable position back in their line of work?
Well, that would be up to the individuals if they're willing to be retrained to do something else. I mean, if you can afford to sit back and wait for
I think we got
do that.
Okay.
But in the same sense, if you can take another job right now until your job does come open, there's plenty of work for people to do. There's county jobs, I believe, that are actually still open. They're looking for truck drivers and stuff. At the county level, there's resources that are available. At the city level, there's going to be more resources available. At the county level, I want to try and direct some of those resources that are available towards the city and try and just get any kind of relief whatsoever that we can get for whoever needs it. Whoever can show a need, let's help them out. We got to get, like the city has said, we're all in this together. We have to be able to all work together in order to make this thing, to open the economy back up, get people back to working, get caught up from where we're all behind, and try and make it better than it was.
Tim, let me ask you another question about economics real quick, and I appreciate you staying with us. Tim Heather, running as a Republican candidate for Niagara County 6th District. Tim, the $46 million visitor center at Goat Island. I watched the mayor, who's a Democrat, which I guess D's and R's don't matter, but it kind of does the further you get up the line. You got the mayor, who's a Democrat, the mayor of our city. You got Robert Ort and Angelo Morinello. They were high-fiving over there. They were very happy, very excited when that was announced. I was disgusted. Tim, your thoughts?
I personally would love to see that outside of the state park.
Yeah.
The state park has been siphoning money off of the city for years. We get very little, if anything, back from that state park. Why couldn't we put that outside of the state park? Why did we not put that like over where the Daredevil Museum is? Why can't we try and get some people to come outside of the state park and actually get them to see what's in the city? Because obviously the state is choking the city off. They're taking every bit of money that they can. I was reading just the other day they're going to put out a proposal for or a bid proposal for the concessions there.
Right.
They want to do a 20-year contract, a 13-year contract with 7 years of extensions. Okay. They're planning on putting everything into that new center, from what I understand, the concessions and stuff. That's within eyesight of the businesses that have been trying to make it down there. I mean, you've got Flipburger, there's a pizza place, I've seen businesses in trailers down there that are set up for seasonal, for the season getting ready to come up. Why are we competing against the state park? Why does the state park put that somewhere where it's going to compete with city businesses? The only thing the only deduction I can come up with is because they're doing it to choke the business away from the city businesses and bring them into the state park. Why are we working against the state park? Why is it that the state, for some reason, looks at us as the redheaded stepchildren and they use us for their personal piggy bank? What's wrong with the building that's currently there? That building that's currently there, it's not that old. Right. I mean, my house is older than that building, and I live in my house still. Yeah. Why do we have to build another building there when that was all supposed to be, opened up so that we could get a view of the falls and everything else, supposed to make it cleaner? Why are they putting this building there? And I've seen in the comments before on the post when they were talking about the concessions. Did the state tip their hand when they said the contract does not involve lodging? Okay, we've seen that they tried to put lodging in there before. Everybody stood up. Thank God they did, because it doesn't belong there. Does this building belong there? I don't think it. I think that money could be better served outside here within the city, so that we can set up a convention center or a visitor center where people could go in here and sell tours, and the city could actually get some money from that. What do we get from the state from the concessions in the state park? I seen in the proposal they want to give the city up to $3 million, a percentage up to $3 million. My question is, why isn't it a percentage with a minimum of $3 million?
Right.
Because if they say they're up to $3 million, I think people know they're going to make probably $30 million. And then the person that gets it's going to be like $3 million is nothing. But what if we get a percentage of that with a minimum guarantee of $3 million? Now we might have some more players want to come in and get involved. Right. Then they also put in there that they want them to earmark $1 million toward the building of that new visitor center or something like that. Why? Are they going to own that building? Why do they have to promise $1 million towards the building? This is to me, the state has been in the works. They've got their plans. Their master plan seems to be funnel people in from the 190 right down the American Parkway or whatever they call it now, into the state park and get them out of the state park.
And get them out, yeah.
Like, get them right back out. Let's empty their pockets in the state park. What about the city? Why isn't the state trying to... if the state park was actually helping the city, you hear at budget time they talk about our state aid that we receive. How much of that state aid will we actually require, what we would qualify for if we were actually getting our fair share from the state park revenue? Would we need the state to give us state aid? Do you know why they're doing it? I'll tell you why. Because when we're dependent on that state aid, they know that these politicians around here are going to bend over and they're going to kiss the governor's ass. Right. We're dependent. He's got us dependent on that money. And if we don't kiss his ass, what's he do? He threatens to cut that state aid. Well, if we're getting money from the state park, which we should be receiving a percentage of, are we going to be relying on that state aid? No. Then what's going to happen? Then these guys are going to say, you know what? Hell, we don't need to kiss your ass. We're going to get our money from the state park anyway. Right. So that's why I think that's part of the reason, the motivation behind what they're doing with the state park.
Robin, do you have something?
I do. A comment from the chat room from Michael Mickey Rimmon. He says, you're speaking of all city issues. What can you do as a county legislator?
Okay. As a county legislator, one of the things that they're responsible for is for the operation of the county workforce. Me being a city employee, I understand how the DPW works. I'm a member of the DPW. I understand when I start seeing cuts being made, how's that going to affect the operation? Look at how the city budget has been. I can only talk about the city budget because I've watched the city budget for the last few years. I've been a part of the city budget going through trying to save the union jobs that they're eliminating from the DPW. But when you start cutting jobs, when you start cutting the budget, and it starts costing you your DPW workers, that directly affects the services that are being rendered for the taxpayers. Now, as a county legislator, you're basically going to be doing the same thing. You've got to watch the county budget, and you got to make sure that you've got the proper people, you've got the funding in order to provide the county provided services, your sheriff's department, your county roads that need to be taken care of. There's all kinds of county aid, county programs, your senior programs. You have to make sure that when you're cutting or when you're spending that money, that it's being spent prudently and that you're getting the best bang for the buck. Does that always happen? No. Do I have the insight to be able to see when they start talking about cuts or when people start complaining, well, we don't have enough plows on the street? Right. Well, at the county, I can say, hey, we need to put more people in the DPW. We need to get some CDL drivers so that we can plow these county roads. Right. That's the kind of insight that I have.
Now, Tim, I want to give you the last question for you, and I appreciate you spending the time. Why are you the best person for the sixth? Why can't I say that word? The 6th district.
Well, first off, I understand how the people live in that 6th district. I live in the 6th district. I'm not going to be moving into the district after I get elected. I live here. I've been here for 20 years. I actually know the struggle in the 6th district. You've got business, you've got residential, you've got commercial. Okay, there's a big variety of things that are going on in the 3rd district, or in the 6th district. I'm sorry. I've been around. I've already went around. I got my own petition signatures. A lot of the people that I've talked to there, they're not happy with the way things are going right now. As a county legislator, I can actually try and direct those resources that the city may not be able to provide from the county into the city. We can work together. I listened to your brother, Mayor Restaino, campaign on wanting shared services. Okay, at the county level, as a city representative, I live in the district. I can try and direct those resources here. I see how a DPW department runs. I see how a budget works. I understand how the budget works. I think that I have the insight to be able to do it, and I don't have to have the power. I'm not a power-hungry person. I'm not looking for benefits. I don't even know what they make, to tell you the truth. I don't even know what they get paid. And honestly, I don't care. If you're asking what they get paid, you're running for the wrong reason. If you're looking for the benefits and all that other stuff, I've already got it. I don't need it. That's not why I'm running. I'm running because I am sick and tired of seeing the stagnant inactivity around here, and I want to do something to make it better. Will I be able to do that? That remains to be seen. All I can guarantee you is I will put every effort that I have within me to make sure that I do the best I can do. And this is a 2-year appointment, or a 2-year election. Okay? If I'm not effective after 2 years, I will be the first one to say, hey, you know what? Somebody else, hopefully they can do it better. If they can do it better, let's get them in there. Well, I don't want to be one of these stagnant people that just sits in there, holds their butt in the seat and says, you know what? Yeah, I got elected. No, I want to be the person who says, I got elected. I got in here and did something. Right. I came in here and I made something happen. I stood up and barked for my district to get things better in my district, to bring resources in. We got a lot of problems in the city, and I think we need to start getting some county involvement to get the county to kind of help us out a little. Like I said, Vincenello coined the phrase, as the city goes down, the county goes down. If the city doesn't start turning around, the county numbers are going to fall as well. The revenue is going to go down. If we don't have a good tourist attraction here, our tourist season will suck. Our sales tax will go down. The roads will get worse. The environment will get worse. I want to come in and come in with a common sense approach. What we've been doing has not been working. I am the change. I'm not a politician. I live the struggle. I know what it's like. And like I've said before, I got 2 ears, 2 eyes, and 1 mouth for a reason. I do the research. I listen to what people say, and I don't speak until I know what I'm talking about.
Well, you know what? Let's leave it right there. Tim, thanks a lot, man. We'll be talking to you again. Best of luck on the campaign trail.
Thank you. I just need to say one more thing.
Sure, go ahead, Tim.
We need to get people to get out and vote. The primary is June 22nd.
Yes, right.
I'm in the Republican primary against Chris Voccio. I need people to please, if you support me, come out and vote. Just go out. I know it sucks. You got to take the half an hour, however long the line is. It's your civic duty. You want something to change, you got to get out and vote for change. I'm that change. Please come out and vote June 22nd. I would appreciate it.
Thanks, Tim. Thank you. All right, well, that was a great interview. Thank you, Tim Heater, for taking all that time with us. 6th District, I can't say it. He's a Republican candidate for that district, and he's going to have a primary against Chris Voccio. You know what? We got a lot of corruption, so little time. We're going to take a break so we can regroup, and we'll be back in a few minutes. And we're back. Thank you, everybody. We're back, still here with Robin and my Goal Getters partners in the back there, John Fidel. Wade, of course.
How are you?
Doing what he's got to do. Yeah, no, great job. Thanks, Tim. Thank you for showing up. Remember, June 22nd is the time to vote in the primary, and please do what you are supposed to do, and that's vote. We got a news story, and like I said, corruption sometimes falls in your lap, and you're just surprised, and you don't think it can get any worse, and we're going to stick with Niagara County. There's a 4th legislative district, and, I've talked to some people today, and they can't believe this is able to happen. But let me try to lay this out the best way I can so I don't confuse. The 4th district, obviously I don't believe, Owen Steed is the incumbent, 10-year incumbent. He's the legislator there. He's a Democrat. Jeffrey Elder is, remember, he ran for mayor, and now he is going to be in a primary. Both Dems, oh, bless you, Robin. Both Dems, and they're going to be in a primary. So, okay, seems normal, right? Seems normal, nothing big there. Elder gets the Working Families Party line there, and Steed gets a conservative line. Now, we'll get back to that because that's odd, but he gets the conservative line. Then, something I've never seen before. Nicholas J. Passeri. This guy is living at 39 Lyndhurst Drive in Lockport. So he's in Lockport. He's in the 13th district in Lockport. Guess what he's doing? He's running against Jeffrey Elder for the 4th district of Niagara Falls on the Working Families Party line. As you guys can see there he is. It's all public knowledge. So yeah, Nicholas Passeri lives in Lockport. Lockport's 13th district is running for legislator on the Working Families line, primarying Elder. You understand the problem there right off the bat. I mean, that means any one of us here, if we're in the Falls, we could just anywhere. Wilson, what's the difference?
I could run in Texas right now as long as I agree to move to Texas. I mean, what the hell
that's what they're saying. They're saying that he has. If he has, here's the thing. It's perfectly legal. Passeri needs to commit to moving into the 4th district by election day or 6 months of winning. Now let's remember what the 4th district is. The 4th district was set up at one time to give minority representation. That's what the 4th district was supposed to be. Owen Steed, Jeffrey Elder, battling it out for the Democratic nomination, and Passeri joins in. Now let's talk about Passeri. Nicholas Passeri changed his party in February 2021 to the Working Families Party at the deadline. Yeah, look at that. There's his petition. We'll talk about that in a minute, too. He didn't pass his own petitions. They were passed by a man whose name is... I got to find his name properly. I'll forget. Mario Gregori Jr., who is a part of the Republican committee in Niagara County. He passed the petitions. The only petition passed was by him for that, so that he could be Passeri could run in a primary against Elder on the Working Families Party line. This is it sounds confusing, but just remember this: there's someone from Lockport running to be the legislator in Niagara Falls.
Do you see these petitions?
Yeah, look at it.
There's things crossed out, and if I handed in a petition like that, they'd say, "Get that."
They'd throw it out.
Here.
They'd rip
Right,
it. Yeah.
Exactly.
No. So there's more. There's more though. Nicholas Passeri, who lives in Lockport in the 13th district of Lockport, he's not running for legislator there. He's running for legislator in Niagara Falls in the 4th district. There's something to this that is really, makes it even. It even goes to another level of disgust. His wife's name is Rochelle Passeri. We've heard her name before if you looked at the news. She was fired by the mayor of Lockport because she was a Lockport city clerk. There was allegations of insubordination, whatever. She sues the city for her job back. It gets dismissed, but there's possibly going to be appeals and stuff, so it's not done yet. Anyways, Rochelle Passeri gets a job, and her job, of course, the county comes to her aid because they like to do that. They did that with the guy from North Tonawanda when he was the city clerk. He got fired, and they decided to give him a county job. He got fired, and that guy got fired too because he mishandled funds. I mean, it was like $1 million shortfall. So, anyways, they gave him a job. Well, of course, coming to her aid is the Republicans in Niagara County to help her. She is now the confidential secretary to. It's like the public defender's office. They call it conflicts and counsel or whatever, and that's where she is now. So that's her husband is Nicholas Passeri. They're all tied in with the Republican Party in the county. We see what's happening here. The next thing about this, though, that's really just connects all the dots, of course. Mario Gregory Jr., the guy who passed the petitions for Mr. Passeri, he works in that department. So she would be a confidential secretary, I guess, to him. In that conflicts and defenders attorney office. So it all comes full circle, right? I mean, she gets fired by Mayor Roman there for insubordination. She fights it, dismissed, might be coming. Who knows what's going to happen? She can appeal. But the county Republicans step in and, of course, put her in a spot. And that spot would be some confidential secretary to the public defender's office. Mr. Gregory, who's passing the petitions for her husband, is in that office. So it's just... It's really mind-blowing, but then there's more. Owen Steed. Owen Steed, who's been 10 years in that district, as their legislator, there is a rumored rift between the Democratic Party. And the mayor's involved. You've got the mayor's involved in this rift. You've got Jeffrey Elder. You've got a problem in the Democratic Party, it seems. So Owen Steed, now let's all think about this. Why in the world would Owen Steed get the conservative nod for this, for the 4th legislative district, right? It's kind of crazy. But let's try to figure out why. And I think I know why. I think that Mr. Steed, I think he realizes that possibly, I don't know, this is just my thoughts, is seeing that the Democratic Party might be going in another direction. Might be going towards Elder. It looks that way. It appears that way. I don't know anything. This is just a guess. And so the mayor of Niagara Falls, another rumor, this could not be true, but I'm going to say it because I got it from some sources that make me feel like it could be, is believing that the Democratic Party in the Niagara County Democrats are not being friendly enough to him. He's not happy with them. We know the connection with him and the Watazics, which happen to be Republican. We know it. We don't even have to go through it again. We know it. Owen Steed gets a conservative line. You see him on Mother's Day with the mayor, handing out gift cards. Owen Steed, I think, has turned to the Watazics for help because he believes Jeffrey Elder's too much. And this thing with Nicholas Passeri coming in, a Lockport resident from the 13th district in Lockport, how the hell do you even consider? It doesn't make any sense to anyone. He's going to be... He's not moving into the 4th district of Niagara Falls. He never was. He never would. That's a joke. We all know that. Is it okay, though, that it's happening? Like...
It's dirty. It's putting another
Yeah.
corruption on the corruption that already is there in politics.
Exactly.
It's just throwing another thing that people can do.
And why?
The fact that they're allowed to run and have 6 months after to move into the district is just crazy.
That isn't even what's you're right. That's not even what... You know what's bothering me is it's being done in so corrupt from Watazic, from that group that we all know is corrupt, and they're doing it. It's disgusting. It's right in front of you, and no one's going to give a fuck. No one's going to give a damn. No one's going to care. It's going to happen. And it'll just happen. It'll be like the tree falling in the woods. Did it really happen? Who the hell would know? Because no one will report on it. No one will care. Do you get my point? Like, that's the aggravation that I feel. He comes out of nowhere. Nicholas J. Passeri. But, of course, they can't even find a guy. They're so goddamn bold. They can't even find a guy that doesn't have a wife that was just... You know what I mean? Like that whole connection.
Yeah.
They don't even give a damn. Do you know where Lyndhurst? Do you know where this place is? Like, I don't want to. I'm not. Well, they use it.
It's off transit.
Yeah. 13th district, nice district.
Yeah.
Did you say? You
It's a
know,
nice street.
is he going to come down and live on 16th and South
No,
or whatever it may be?
no.
So, I don't think this is the highest level of corruption. One of the highest levels of corruption, on top of the other corruptions, that
Sure.
we've seen.
And when did this come about? I never heard of such a thing.
No, right? No.
I never heard of such a thing. When
40
did
years.
this? Is this a new law that we just
I
didn't
don't know.
see get passed? Because according to
I want you to
everything I
run.
ever knew,
I'd like you to run in Niagara Falls. I told you that
Please.
before.
You know what?
So why don't you
not?
just go run for council right
Sure,
now?
Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Hell no.
I support it.
Because it's I shouldn't be able to though.
You shouldn't be able to.
I
No.
shouldn't be able to.
No.
But you know what? Let's prove a point.
But you could, because you could. Let's say you win. We'll just fake an address. We got other people doing it. Who
Just
gives a
like
damn? It'll be
yourself.
my address.
Mhm.
Like who's
My
gonna say?
address.
Yeah, there you go, John. You're over there.
Run out of room.
Yeah, that's what you're doing. You're living in the basement. Screw it.
Right.
Why not? Who's gonna say anything? No one says shit. No one says nothing about this.
Right?
When are
If
they gonna
do
s-
say something? Let's say we did this because of this. We'll
Yeah.
slap it in your face.
But
You
I'm
know what I
serious.
mean?
Why not?
Dirty
What the
politics
fuck?
at its worst.
Yeah, at its worst. And no, my thing is, the Republican Party is behind this, obviously. And what? Who cares? Like, that's the feeling I get. Because I don't know how many times we've brought up corruption, all of us here in this room, and that's kind of what you get the attitude of. Well, that's Niagara County for you.
Mhm.
What are you going to
Yeah.
do? But and it isn't like that. Nothing ever gets rectified. It just continues and continues. This here is really insane. I can't believe that. I can't even believe. Think about the intestinal fortitude to do it with no care in the world. Like, they don't even
We gotta
care.
find the legalities of this, because if this is still
I believe it. From what I
not
understand,
legal, then I mean, how the hell do you get away with it?
I think it's legal.
You
I
think
think
it's
it. Yes,
legal?
I believe. Well, someone did some research on this. That's pretty well that I know that I won't give names. It's legal. You can do this as long as you'll move in. So this guy knows the only reason he's there is to give Elder a hard time.
Yeah.
To make Elder have to try to win that working families. So, like, is he going to ever step foot in Niagara Falls? No. This guy. It's bad enough Ottaviano doesn't. Is this guy going to step foot in Niagara Falls? No. He won't come to Niagara Falls within 10 miles. He's probably be scared to go down into our city.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, right? He's not coming in there. But he's running for legislator in the city of Niagara Falls, and he is a resident of Lockport.
Makes no
I don't know what to
sense.
say anymore.
Love it,
It's
yeah.
actually stunning. Like, I know people are out there probably thinking, "Oh, that's not a big deal." Well, let's think about everything that's gone on. Laura Allen, there she is.
Yeah, she is.
The guy in Pendleton,
Yeah.
there he is. Now it's funny. The guy in Pendleton did what he did, and a Democrat will tell me, "Oh, it's just messed up." He was a Republican, whatever he is, conservative. He does what he does. Everyone just, whatever. What are you going to do? Good for him. He got off. He doesn't have to do anything. He doesn't have to pay anything back. We're happy with the fact that he bought windshield wipers for his car. Don't worry about that. There's more important things to worry about. But why not? You don't worry about the more important things.
Right. We
Oh.
also paid for a battery, some headlights.
Yeah, headlights.
Yeah, all on our taxpayer dollar.
Yeah, but no one. But I'm told online that's nothing. What are you even worried? Why are you worried about that? There's more important. Yes, there's more. Go after OTB like you should. Go after it, but you don't do anything.
Right, you can't even do the little things.
The little
what
things.
you're calling little, you
Yeah.
can't even do that.
Right? I don't understand. I just don't understand how this continues. I don't understand how the people that are in the know, that know, like, there's people that don't pay attention, and I'm going to give them. I'm not going to start screaming about them because sometimes they just can't. They don't have time. They do what they do. They could have 3 jobs. They could have 1 job. They could have a bunch of kids. They don't got time to pay attention. And God forbid, hopefully they are, God willing, they even vote. Whatever. But I mean, this here, if this isn't made a major story by tomorrow morning by some other news organization, by a bigger one than us, this is bull. This is bullshit. I mean, how can this not be? It's got to be. This should be this. Am I taking it too far? Is it maybe it's nothing?
No, not at all.
I mean, it's craziness. It drives us nuts here. I know, but there's
It's
some.
just example after example. To where, it's amazing that people who do pay attention can turn their head and pretend like they just don't see this stuff.
Because I'm not saying nothing that they don't know. They
Right.
know. The guys that are running and stuff, they might not know. The candidates out there, they're doing whatever but the people within the party, they know.
Sure.
The leaders of each party know what's going on here. Now the question will be, it's always the question, is it worth it? Is it like here when the councilman said, it's not worth it to worry about if this person lives in the city. We're not going to worry about it. Is it worth it? Will it be worth it to the Democratic Party to do what they should be doing about this? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Really, it should be something that everyone in Erie County and every county in New York State should be pretty concerned about. I'd love to run for something in Erie County. Why not?
Sure.
It'd be kind of nice. I'll go to Orchard Park. Nice place. Yeah. I'll become a legislator there. Yeah. And sure, I'd love to move in. Why not?
I know.
The hell with it.
How much? It's basically, where do you want to get a big check? Manhattan? You want to go to
Manhattan? Yeah, I could do that if I want.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
Run for whatever I like.
You've never been there, but why don't you run for...
And I'll never show up.
For the people there.
For the people. So,
You're a Knicks fan, then.
Knicks fan, that works.
Yeah,
Yankees.
Fan, you win.
But what about, though, Owen Steed? What about him? It's a sad state of affairs. Now that he has pretty obvious gone to the dark side. He has now jumped over. He had to have, because nothing else makes sense about this. Why in the world would the 4th District, as bad as they make it, was set up, I think, by the federal government at one time to make sure that there was minority representation, because we couldn't be, how could Niagara County handle it? That had to happen, with the gerrymandering and stuff. So there it is. You have 2 African Americans, Jeffrey Elder, Owen Steed, running. They're throwing Passeri from Lockport in the mix to be the Working Families Party. As we always know, those parties are garbage. We've said it a million times. Puppet parties.
The vote stealer.
Yeah. And there he is. There is Passeri. Why would they care about the 4th District? You know what I mean? Why? Why is it so important to keep Steed in that position? There's a big reason that we need to know. Why is it so important to the Republican Party, the GOP in Niagara County, to keep Owen Steed in that 4th District? Why would they even give a damn? Why would they care? I don't have an answer.
We have a comment from
Yep.
William Nye.
Okay.
The Republican holds the hammer. They ousted the highway superintendent for another agenda. Now they're running out of district. Nick P. will vote the way they tell him to. Nick P. won't get in there because he's only on that Working Families
Just for
line.
to cause.
So I love you, Bill Nye, but I don't see it as that at all, because he won't get in that seat only being under the Working Families.
No, he's not there for.
He's not there for that. He's there to give to create issues in the primary.
Yeah, that's all. He's there to make Elder have to work for it.
Yes.
He's there to make Elder have to be looking, not just to be going after Steed. He's got to, check the left side of, as Passeri from Lockport has shown up. I mean, does anyone see? I'm surprised Bill didn't talk about that. The fact that he's from Lockport, right. Running in Niagara Falls. Mm-hmm. I don't. Little corruption, big corruption, all corruption should probably be taken out.
Absolutely.
I don't care. I don't care if it's 10 cents. You know what I mean? It's not right.
Shows character.
This here is absolutely, positively, as far as political goes, it's just disgusting. It's as bad as it gets. Because, and you got everything in it. You've got you got it all. Because why not? Because all these things have happened just in little or never all at once. They did it all at once here. This is a story for everything. You got Passeri, who is going to be a mercenary, I guess, for the Republican Party, and say, I'm running in the 4th District, and here I am. Then you have his wife, who now gets fired from Lockport as city clerk, The Republicans put her in a confidential secretary, nice job, whatever. Her husband is the guy, obviously, running. And here comes Mario Gregory Jr. to pass the petition. I mean, this is crazy. And he works, and he's part of the thing that she's the confidentiality secretary for. And Owen Steed. What the hell did he do now that he's going with the Conservative Party? That's craziness. So, you know what? Fine. Like I said before, I just say it, and I don't care. I mean, this is... I'm speechless. Because it's freaking ridiculous.
I'd like to be at that debate. They have one.
Yeah, if they have one, right? Yeah, he won't be there. Passeri's not coming. Passeri probably... I would love to ask him. He left his... I got his phone number. I wish I could call him. Because I wish maybe he will do an interview with us. I'd like to know when the last time he was in Niagara Falls. Certainly would love to know when the last time he was in the 4th District.
Right.
I'm going to say never. Do you think he ever was in the 4th District?
On his way to the falls.
Yeah.
Right.
Probably going down 11th Street and cutting across.
Yeah.
He probably, now he doesn't even have to. He can just go on the thing near Whirlpool, and just go right up. Doesn't even have to get by there.
Right.
I want to see what's going to... This is going to be fun to see what happens. I would imagine people don't even... There's some people that don't even care.
Right.
No, I'm talking not people like that might be, like I said, those people that are busy. I'm talking about those that are in this.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care today. And they might be Democrat. Whatever.
Think of future implications. You
That's
know what
the
I
thing.
mean? That is the big... no, it's happening right now.
Yeah.
But this could even get worse, where this is happening in every single race. You allow it to happen here, who's to say you can't allow this in every single race?
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's gotten as bad as it has, because they've pulled this little shit before where
Sure.
you put through one thing and people just
Don't
shut
care.
up and
Yes.
accept it. And so now you're more bold and you can...
It's the give an inch, take a
Yeah.
yard, the whole
Open
thing.
a can of worms.
Yeah.
And they love it because no one's going to care about this. This will just happen. This guy will be on the ballot. No one will say how what a disgrace this is. Maybe they will. I don't know. I would assume the Democrats are if they don't, they will. But then the question is, does the media even pick up on it? Do they even care? There's a good chance that there's going to be... I would imagine the Democrats of Niagara County will send out some kind of press releases to the press. And who is going to talk about it? Tom Prohaska? No, he won't.
No.
Because now you're going to be going up against Henry Watazik. And who among them is going to be willing to report this? I'm thinking we don't even hear about it.
Absolutely not.
In fact, this guy may be the next mayor of Niagara Falls. You don't know.
Passeri? Yeah, why not?
You don't know.
Yeah, because I could just... I mean, yeah, I hope I did it right. It's a hard story sometimes to follow, but just know this. You got a guy that lives in the 13th District of Lockport who passed a petition, who got on the ballot on the Working Families Party to be the honestly, I mean, it's saying he wants to be he wants to be legislator of the 4th District. Whatever you think, we know why he's there, and he's just trying to cause havoc and give Elder a hard time. But, yeah, there he is.
Do you see the petition on the screen right now? With this Working Families line and with the Green Party line in the past, and how I was able to write in campaign is because many people don't vote in the primaries especially with that puppet Working Families.
He might win.
Line. He might win.
He might win the Working Families line.
Exactly.
He might win.
Exactly.
He's going to win.
Because all you need is about
4 votes,
4,
whatever.
5, right, and you got it.
He's going to win. He could very...
Crazy, right?
I almost hope he does. Part of me almost hope he does. I hope he wins. I wish he'd win the whole goddamn thing. That would be hysterical. Because tell me how funny that would be.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm rooting for him. I hope he wins. Because it'll be great. Let him win that race. Let him then have to say, no, I'm not moving in. Big joke. Joke's on you guys. I'm not moving in.
Right, like
Yeah.
force him to get down to
Yes.
16th.
Oh, that'd be so funny. But then, of course, it would probably keep Owen Steed in there. I feel bad. I didn't even want to get into this race. To be perfectly honest with you, it's Jeffrey Elder and Owen Steed. I have no real reason to say anything about anyone until I heard this. I like Jeffrey Elder. I met Owen Steed for the first time the other day. First time in my life. It was the first time I ever met him. Nothing bad to say about anyone. Do I know what Owenstein's ever done? No, I don't know. But maybe other people do. He's not in my district. Maybe he did do stuff.
Maybe he can answer some questions for us on why you're doing what you're doing.
I would love.
Who's involved?
I would love to talk to any one of these three guys.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Now I'm saying right now that the fact that he has the conservative line speaks volumes on all this that's happening when you connect the dots. If he'd have got the conservative line, and there was no Passeri, I'm not saying nothing. But there's too many things happening here at work. I mean, you've got the GOP doing this. Can you? Yeah, if he wins, there'll be 3 people on the. If Passeri wins, so Elder's going to have to work at winning this Working Families Party line. And he's going to have to spend money, and he's going to have to work. That's what they did, and this is wrong. And if you're a Republican out there, you should be disgusted. You should be sick. A Republican voter who, not a Republican voter that has any conscience, you got to be sick at your party, and it's disgusting. They should revolt themselves. But then do you think the Democrats say, well, that's fine, I'll do it, we'll do it next time? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's good. Maybe we keep it.
I mean, how can we, like, the Republican Party does this. Last week, Laura Allen's doing that. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
You people see that these people are damn near the same people.
This was in 2 weeks. This was just in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
I had no story tonight. Yes, I had no story for After Tim. Remember, Robin? I was telling you. So I was reaching, and I found that video that the mayor did on Channel 4. There was some good things to talk about there, but this is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it gets the oxygen it deserves.
We could tell everybody we're the first people to report on it. Well, hopefully tomorrow and the next day we'll see it on the news.
It should be.
We should
be.
Yeah.
We'll get no credit.
Dollar, it's not.
No, we'll get no credit, and I don't even know if they'll. That's what I'm saying. The Gazette's not going to run. I hope they do. I'll give them credit if they do. Just even saying anything about it, let alone doing any sort of research. But boy, if you want to talk about democracy and stuff, and everyone's all worried about voting and all this is under attack. This is craziness. This has to be stopped, or should be stopped. So when he goes, let me ask you a question, Wade. You'll know this because I never ran. When that petition's filled out, right? So then they got to bring it to the Board of Elections.
Right. I've never petitioned myself.
Okay. That was the special election.
But maybe I can still.
Maybe you can answer this. All right. So now that petition is filled out. They have to. Now they were on Cleveland Ave. I saw the couple. Yeah, and look, they only needed 3 signatures.
Yeah, they had to bring it.
Yeah, so there was like a couple Cleveland. So you got to bring it there.
Yeah.
Who then takes that? Any one of the two, or is it Working Families go to the Democrat? Does it?
Great question.
I wonder. I don't know.
Handed it in a petition myself. Like I said,
you would assume Working Families would go Democrat and conservative, but we know that doesn't work.
That can't work out like that. So I would assume it just has to be looked upon by Laura Allen and
or what's her name? Yeah, I can't remember her name. Jennifer Sandinato. Thank you. Yep. And wow.
Overlooked by both of them, I would assume.
If you're mayor of this city and you hear this, you should be upset. You should be pissed off.
For sure.
You really should.
Yeah.
Because this is so someone from Lockport is trying to throw a monkey wrench into the 4th district. You got to be angry. Should be. He should be talking about that tomorrow morning. The mayor himself should be saying what a disgrace this is. I would imagine that I would hope that whoever's in charge of the Democrats in Niagara Falls will really be upset. They stood on those stupid stairs the day we had that for the families.
Yeah. For the Working Families line.
Yeah.
So,
and that was the day that we did our thing for victims.
Yes.
But and of course the news decides to go there. They don't come to something where you got victims and people crying and all upset because they're children of murder victims. Tomorrow, are they going to be on the steps? I'd be on the steps. If you're a Democrat, you should be on the steps. Right there. Something should be going on because this is
Austin
outrageous.
Nita Mullane, Michelle Roman.
Yeah.
Were there
Michelle Roman should step in on this because she knows what's going on here.
Right.
All parties should be there.
Yes. Yeah, Republicans should be there too. You're right. There should be a whole bunch of people there.
Yep.
Because
everyone should be outraged.
Yeah. But I don't think the mayor of Niagara Falls would be.
No.
We got the picture of him handing out baskets or whatever it was, gift certificates with Owen Steed. You know, was there anyone else there but Owen Steed? Doesn't look like it. I'm sure they would all taken pictures of it, and all the pictures I saw were just Owen and the mayor.
And I don't know who the lady
Yeah, I think she was just a recipient.
Okay.
She was just a recipient of
Maybe
the
Owen
card.
was friendly to the mayor, and that's what the mayor's
Oh.
looking for.
There's no question he's
Yeah.
friendly. He's friendly, and it appears that he's become friendly with the with certain people
Well,
over
sure,
there.
if you're friendly
Conservative
with the
Party,
mayor.
you know, is Maziar's too. By the way, don't forget
Oh,
it.
yeah.
It could be Maziar's. I think considers himself a conservative. So who? But we know they've went over. It's like going with it. It's like the evil empire. He has turned to the evil empire. That's tough, man. That
Yeah.
means we're like I said. This story drove me nuts earlier. I hope people that care about politics around here and how things go understand how disgusting this is. And if it's allowed to continue, and there's no way of well, you know what? Even maybe it can't be fixed. Maybe it's allowed. Okay, just because it's allowed doesn't mean it's right. So if it's allowed, everyone that has a voice to do like I'm talking about the elected, the people that are on these committees should be having a really tough time with this. I would figure the Niagara Falls Republican committee should be very upset about this too. I'd hope to hear from Bill Carroll as he condemns this act of nonsense from the county. Don't tell me that Passeri, I can't even say it. Like he really, what the fuck? Will there be word from a guy like Bill Carroll? What do you think? Niagara Falls GOP chairman. Does he speak?
I'm going to bet Wade that dollar that he doesn't.
Nothing to be said. Nothing to be said.
He's probably behind it.
Yeah, he might be behind it. And then you're going to have the Niagara Falls Democratic Party, which I would assume will be very upset, and they'd have to be. And then you're going to have the two county parties, which I'm concerned because of the Watazik factor out there. So, all right, guys, I had to bring this up. I guess I better wrap it up. It's
We
20
have
after
more
7.
on it, hopefully more on it.
Yeah,
in the
next week.
2 weeks,
Yeah, next week, hopefully. Let me wrap this up, guys. I know I'm late. Let's do one thing, though. Let's go around the room. Let's start here. I'm sorry, John. I don't have a mic for you. Oh, actually, you can bring him a mic. Why don't you let him?
I think
Let
we
him.
can hear him.
Okay, we can hear you. Okay, let's start with John. What did we learn today, John?
Well, politics is worse, I guess, for Niagara County, and hopefully it doesn't happen again. That's the way I look at it, and we'll have to see what happens in the next couple of months. So
Yeah.
and that's all I got right now. I got to do some research. On this.
Yeah. Right, Robin. What have you learned today?
Well, I just wanted to thank Tim Heater for taking the time to be here with us tonight.
Yeah.
I thought we learned
Excellent.
a lot about him tonight.
He's not hiding anything.
Right.
Good for him.
Yeah, and just another example of corruption that just keeps building and building into what Niagara County is becoming, or has already become.
Yeah.
To where, I mean, we rival Chicago and places, big places that have legendary corruption. We have it here, and people just turn their heads.
Wade, what have you learned today?
Well, thanks for Mr. Heater to appear and answer questions from John. It was a great interview. About what we were recently talking about the last 20 to 30 minutes. I would say if anybody's going to speak out, it would and should be Mr. Elder. Mr. Elder, you've been on the show previous. Maybe you need to come on again and actually speak your mind and state what you feel about this situation. We will gladly give anybody the floor here if you're involved in this issue, or Owen Steed, so on and so forth. It's time for you guys to speak up because we're gonna, even if the news doesn't report on this, we're gonna continue to report on it. This is dirty politics, and just more that we gotta. another thing we have to go after.
Yeah. You know, what I learned today is, first of all, I learned that Tim Heater will answer your questions, and I learned that call him, go on Facebook, meet him. Whatever you got, I believe he will answer as truthfully as he appears to be a guy who is going to let you know exactly what he thinks, and it won't be any mystery. And I like that, and I wish him well, and I hope we get to talk again. And I also want to tell the other guys, Vascio and Kennedy, you've always been welcome here. All of you have been welcome here. You two guys, anyone else is welcome here.
Even though we might talk about crap about you,
it doesn't matter.
Like we're going to treat you like a guest when you
Yes,
come.
you're a guest in our house, and I'm not going to make you leave feeling like you were attacked. So I mean, no. So you're always welcome to be here. You guys decide. Just let me know. Reach out to Gorillas Inc. or me or Wade, whoever, Rob and John, any of us, and we'll put you on. What I learned today is corruption never sleeps. We already knew that. It is a new. It's funny once you think they could go so, and they put on another show, and that is because everything in that story has been done before, just in different little stories. Now they decide to just put it all together, and they're waiting for a reaction. The typical people are reacting. Here we are, and that's been going on for years, because you know what? 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, there was people that were just like us and reacting. And usually we're called wacky, so I'm used to it.
Yeah.
That is what I learned today, and I'm going to read the numbers now, and then then after the numbers I got to give some reminders. If you've ever been sexually assaulted, sexually abused, that's currently happening to you, you need to get a hold of the YWCA, 433-6714, 433-6714, if you live in the 716 area code. If you don't, there's a YWCA in every county, I believe, in the United States. And they are incredible. There's counselors there that will counsel you from your own home, so you don't have to leave. There's advocates that will help you if you got to go to court, if you have to go to the hospital, whatever it is you would need, they will help you. Go to the police station. They're there for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's the YWCA, 433-6714. Also, please, I forgot, if you're a husband, wife, anybody, friend that needs help to understand more about what they're going through, call the Y also. They're really good. They'll help you get through it and understand what it is to be abused like that and how things happen. Give them a call. Then there's mental health. Please don't forget mental health. That's like depression, anxiety, panic, just horrible thoughts that people will get because we're depressed sometimes. And don't let those horrible thoughts overcome you. Please call 1-800-662-4357, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They're there to talk to you. If you don't have a friend, you don't have someone you can reach out to, please reach out to them, because you got to think before anything, it can be better. So please give them a call, and that's those numbers. I want to remind everyone that Wednesday night is Goal Getters with me and John Fidel. Friday night. Sorry. Friday night. You scared me.
Sorry.
Thank you. But that's good, though. Thank you, because I'd have kept going. Friday night, Goal Getters with me and John. Mike Agello will be here from HockeyBuzz.com to talk about the NHL playoffs that are coming up. Then we're going to talk about the NFL schedule. I'll have some news for you on Friday also. Then the draw is coming. It'll be here very soon. We got a new show that's going to be coming next week. And what's it? Can I say what it's called?
Yeah, sure.
What's it called?
I love the name.
What's popping with pop in? I can't say popping. That reminds me of how John Summerall, he used to say House of Bugging instead of House of Bugging. What's popping?
I can say it perfectly because I can't pronounce my G's.
Oh.
The word ends in ing.
You have hard.
Ing, I can't pronounce it.
So you're good.
Cineson.
Oh, I hear. Oh, okay. I never knew that. Wow.
So I can say what's popping perfect.
Okay, so we're going to have you be the official thing. So those guys are coming on. You're going to love it. Comedy. I think we're going to talk to them on Friday.
Yeah.
So that'll be cool. So much is happening at Gorillas Inc. Get a hold of us. Advertising this is the time, politicians, and we have the best rates. You won't find anything better. Business, all of you, get in touch with us. yeah, so this is Citizens United with John, Restaino, everybody, good night, and take care.